we're living. Look at this life that we're living. Look at this life we're living. Look at this life we're living. Look at this life we're living. Hey, yo, look at this life we're living. Try to do it right for the children and the women. For this life we're living has all been forgiven. So much time we've been missing out, filled up with doubt, what that's all about. Focusing the money on that we count. Maybe there's a bigger picture to look at. Maybe we wouldn't be like shook cats who didn't know where to throw the book at. Maybe it's time to open up a book, to write another hook, to teach you how to cook, and learn how to Dougie on the dance floor. When you pray to God, you gotta learn how to ask more. What you think we rap for, to push a fucking rap for? Who gonna be there waiting at the back door when they put you in a box? Trying to turn back the hands of the clocks when you trying to evolute. That's called evolution, man. You know that they salute to anything that's real for the mind of a warrior. Not the mind of a warrior who does it for the glory, sir. Do it more for them and bring more for her. The girl that you love, the woman of your dreams. The one that's there behind the scenes to make sure you're A-okay in this stage of life. Who wants to be afraid of life? Not everybody was made for life. Not everybody was made for right. Some people were made for wrong. You turn it back. Who made the song? Sometimes we need to change what's wrong. But sometimes wrong is right and right is wrong. So who's the one that's going to write the song? Who's going to turn you on and who's going to turn you off? Who the reason why this life gets soft? Make the life want to tell you what it is today. Just lay you down and say you're going to be A-okay. You know how the players play. You know what to do when we just riding and rolling. Keep on riding and rolling. Yeah, keep on riding and rolling. You already know how we rolling. You already know how we cruising. Gotta learn to win when you're losing. Gotta understand it's the music. You can find a way to choose it. Turn the radio station on. Keep playing your song. Even though it seems wrong, you gotta move on. And you gotta stay strong. Every word that you speak, you gotta sound unique. When you ride in the street, gotta come up with a beat. Gotta be the one to come with the heat. Make the people move their feet. Don't want to cheat. Play the game by the rules. Sometimes you gotta break them. Sometimes you gotta shake them. Sometimes you get them shook, kid. You already know where to look, kid. From Compton to Brooklyn. Yeah. We gotta make it up the zoo. Gotta find a brand new hue. Chasing the green and the blue. Maybe that's why we got blues. Gotta buy some new shoes. Got holes in the motherfuckers. Now you need some goals in this motherfucker. You gotta reach out to the sky when it blow up like the 4th of July. You already understand what we're doing. You know, listen to the music. Understand it's a movement. You know, we on some new shit. I could put you on exclusive. Put you on a news clip. Cause you know it's for you. Everything gonna get much better. You know, you a superstar. It don't matter where you are. Everything gonna be alright. You gonna make the money. You're going to make it to tonight, make it to tomorrow. You don't have to worry about no sorrows. Put the message in the bottle and just move full throttle. I promise everything will be okay. You're going to make it happen in the rain. Even though you go through pain, you're going to make some new gains. Some like it feels strange. Sometimes it feels strange. That's just God trying to make it right, to rearrange, to show you that it's time to change. And He's going to help you grow, help you evolve. You got problems to solve, and He'll be there to hand solutions. He the one to clean the pollution and solve the confusion. All this mental abusing, all this pain we're choosing. So don't you worry about a thing. You're gonna achieve your dreams. Just take one step ahead and keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving faster. Keep on moving forward, keep on moving faster, because if you stop, that'll be a disaster. Be a disaster. That'll be a disaster. So you gotta keep on moving, baby. Keep playing the music, baby. You gotta keep on going. You gotta keep on flowing. Even if they turn the lights off, you gotta keep on glowing. Even if they tell you to stop, you gotta keep on showing. Keep showing your face. Keep showing your face when you go into place. You don't want to go, you might go into the microwave. But when you write, you gotta write the page in the book of life. You got a book of life. You got the ingredients, you better cook it right. What you want to say? We had to tell them put the gun away. That ain't the way to have fun today. I think it's time for the people to dance. It's time to take a chance. When the label cut the advance, it ain't about the romance. She want a romance. She want to hold hands. She want a slow dance. Damn. Baby girl, I don't go. We got no chance. I'll be in the next city. It's nothing personal, but I just gotta come through and work the flow. My style is reversible. You can rewind it. You know where to find it. I'm shining. On my neck is some diamonds. God gave me the assignment. He said there's diamonds in the rough. You gotta find them. I'ma find them. You know, I'ma find them. I'ma light up the smoke. And I'ma tell a joke like I'm a comedian. Driving on the median. I could wear large, I could wear small, but I prefer median. All right, to play the game of life, you gotta control your thoughts. That's how you move through the matrix. You don't wanna fall for the same tricks, the illusions. You gotta see through the bullshit and confusions. You gotta see the truth. Every time you step outside, that's when you step outside the booth. God always gives you the proof. It's in the Bible, it's in the book. If you don't read it, if you don't understand this shit, you're gonna be shook. You gotta know how to see it every time you look. You gotta know how to grab the ingredients and cook. You know how long it took? Only 7 days. To understand the game of life, there's only just at least 7 ways. Sometimes we complicate it. It's like we're in a maze. People trying to hurry through this motherfucking game in a blaze. You're supposed to cherish the moment. Every second, every minute, you gotta own it. That's how you see the opportunities. Less division, more unities. You and me. You and me getting together beautifully. Less funerals, less eulogies. More people together, we could be moving cheese. From bank accounts to bank accounts. To new degrees. We got locations in different places. We got a house overseas. Wouldn't that be dope? Wouldn't that be dope? Tapped in spiritually like the Pope. Got a different vantage point. Got the scope. Got to see anything right there. That'd be pretty dope. Damn. Keep on moving, baby. Keep on moving, baby. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Yo. Every day in every way, getting better and better. Every day in every way, getting better and better. Every day in every way, we're getting better and better. Better and better, better and better. Yo, if I can get like an upgrade to my body, like a robot, Neuralink, I want auto-tune injected in my vocal cords. I just want to press a button and just sing auto-tune automatically. If that happens, it'd just be unfair at that point. You're acting weird. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? Because I recognize when I'm not acting myself, I feel like I'm acting like I'm a little bit afraid. I'll try to hold back. But then when I act myself, people say I act weird, but I'm like, well, I'm happy when I'm acting myself. And if that's weird to people, then so be it, because it feels good to me. You know what I mean? I always believe that when you treat people kindly and you treat yourself kindly, you can be whoever you want to be at that point. It's like, yo, if you have your bills paid and you're kind to other people, you can be whoever you want to be. That's really what it is. You got to literally just stay like 100% tapped into prayer. Like, it's all, at the end of the day, I believe that to play the game of life, we need to just pray more to God. If we prayed, imagine if you prayed 1,000 times a day. Imagine if you prayed all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do, we need to just pray all day. You know what I mean? The power of prayer is so powerful. Because if you pray, you're literally going to always be in a constant state of faith. If you're in a constant state of faith from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you're probably going to have a better life than average. You're probably going to feel better. You're not going to worry as much. Because if you think about it, without God, it makes so much sense to worry, because we have no control over anything. You don't have control over anything but your mind. You can't even control your heartbeats. Your heart's just beating by itself. You don't know when it's going to stop. You can't control anything but your brain in this entire experience. If you live, from the 0 to 100 years that most people live, in that entire experience, the only thing you had control over was every thought that you thought. You know what I mean? So like, at the end of the day, that's probably the most important thing to do, is to control your brain and use it to think positive thoughts. And my only guess is the only way to remain as positive as possible is through prayer. Because if I don't add God in the scenario, maybe I'll think anything I want to think. But God kind of regulates that to be an optimistic thought. Because it's like, you can't think negatively when you talk to God. It's like, it's just like not how you talk. And if you do, it's all from the perspective of like making yourself feel better about the scenario. So it's kind of wild. I just feel like maybe life is I'm like wondering, how do we do this? You know what I would want? Just like, I would want to go into like this, like, I would want to go to this laboratory. Like it'd be cool if there was like this world where you could like, you take a year off from the Matrix and you go into this world, and you have to like meditate for like 8 hours a day, and they just brainwash you to be positive. Like, there should be brainwash centers. You know what I'm saying? And like, you could pay more money, and then they put you on like an exercise program. You sleep there, like it's a camp. You meditate, you pray all day. Like, you don't have to work, you don't have to pay any bills, you don't have to think about anything. Your food is taken care of, and it's just a rehabilitation center to go back into the Matrix and be super positive and super faithed up. But that'd be way too easy. That'd be dope. That'd be actually super fire. But other than that, to start now, to live your life better, it's probably gonna be you like creating a discipline, a prayer on another level, and doing it on another level. Like the Muslims, Islamic, they pray like, what, 5 times a day? Imagine if you prayed 50 times a day. 50 prayers in a day. Just be prayed up, bro. I'm gonna get prayed up. Yo, dear God, this is a dope live stream. Thank you, God, for the people watching. We are talking about prayers and the power of thinking from a scientific and religious, spiritual perspective. Thank you, God. Thank you for giving us the answers, and please give us more understanding. What are we doing? When I look at life, God, my perspective is this, God. This entire thing is literally predicated on how much faith we have on you. Faith, because the faith is going to control our perception of the uncertainty of life and the simulation. We don't know what's going to happen. So the best solution is faith. If you have faith, you're gonna be hella prayed up. You're gonna be powerful with that shit. You're gonna be super okay with what happens because you don't have control over that. And the ability to control one's thoughts, because that's the one thing you have power over, is your thought control. Faith in the unknown and the actual thoughts you use on a consistent basis. Because my belief is this: you're not your thoughts thinking. I think the thoughts are like a video game. It's like, imagine we're in a simulation. The brain is like the video game controller. And your soul, you as a person, is the person holding the video game controller. And this shit goes. It's like Inception. But that's really what it is. So your ability to control your brain at all times is powerful. You got to be able to control your mind like 24 hours a day, so that when your brain naturally does go on autopilot, I hope I'm not losing anybody. And probably some people are like checked out. They're like, dude, what are you talking about? But when your brain naturally goes on autopilot, you need to train your brain to be on a positive setting, so that at all times you're constantly thinking positive. You probably just need to go on like a fucking positive thinking 30-day, 60-day, 100-day cleanse, where everything you do, you like practice thinking positive. And like, it's got to be, maybe we need to start a program for this. Because like maybe you need an accountability coach, and then you'd have to write every day, like everything that happened in that day, every negative thought, like you need to be like documenting it, every negative moment and how you responded, and train yourself to be a positive person. That'll probably change your life. Like the degree to which you take that shit serious, to control every single thought you think, and recognize all the times you go on autopilot, because then that'll be moments where you can improve yourself. Because I feel like sometimes when we go on autopilot, we go on our default setting. You know what I'm saying? When you go on your default setting, you're able to like understand, like, if you got to know what your default setting is as a person, because sometimes our default setting was calibrated when we were children. You know what I'm saying? When we were children, we are predicated, our moods, our thought processes, our mindsets, our perceptions of ourselves and the world, it's all designed on like the environment we were in and the people that are around us and the things that happen to us. You know what I'm saying? So we have to know these things about us in the present moment to know how to control our willpower, to control our destinies. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we're not always in control. And I think that the degree to which we are in control is like whether or not you're like an NPC or like you're a main character in the Matrix. You know what I mean? Fully awakened to the fact that you're a player in this reality. Would say, is there an, is you're also high? I would say kind of. I'm not really that high. It's kind of like drinking a beer, maybe taking a couple sips. You know what I mean? The difference between like being blacked out drunk or just like taking a sip of beer. This is kind of just loosens me up. It's kind of like oils up my thinking brain, my idea brain, my critical thinking mind. And you guys are actually watching what I would do when I'm alone. When I'm alone and I'm not even smoking, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm like, because I'm an athlete. I'm a musician, I'm an artist, and I'm an athlete. And I think that combines like science and art, kind of makes me kind of like a scientist. I believe we all have scientific thinking. We just got to exercise it. So like a lot of times, the way I look at the world is I'm like, yo, how can I improve? How can you, honestly, what can you do? What do you have control over at every given moment to make your life the best life ever? If life is a game, let's keep it real. If life is a game, how do you win the game? How do you win the game of life? And I think that there's certain things that everyone has their own answer for it, but it all has to stem under an umbrella of truth. An umbrella of truth, that this is how you win the game of life. And it's like how you feel in your fulfillment, in the love you have in your life, in your contentment in your own skin. I think that's like, there's something about that. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter how different it is by each person, it all fits under an umbrella. And my mindset is like, how does one achieve that? You achieve that through, I think it's about having so much faith in God and so much control over your mind and your state on a day-to-day basis. You'll probably have a much better life. If you can remain positive as long as possible, you're going to see more positive in your life. And even if things are always favorable, if you can have such self-mastery to maintain a positive mindset, that's the game. It's about self-mastery. You got to master the ability to stay in a state that you want to be in. And it's in the days where you don't want to control your state and you'd rather be unhappy or lazy, it's those the days that matter the most. It's easy to start, right? When it's fun, when it's easy. But it's in those moments that make you stronger. That's where you level up for real as a human. Yeah. I feel like I could probably do that. I feel like the things that I'm talking about is almost kind of detailed, but I feel like I could probably put it down into like a manual. I want to make a scientific manual to the game of life. If life was like Sims. Some of it would probably be opinion-based, but there's got to be some scientific background to all of it, to like the game of life. That'd be interesting. Maybe someone needs to write the science of the Bible. Should I get some light? Maybe someone needs to write the science of the Bible. Should I get some light in here? Can you see me? Is it kind of dark in here? The future is predicated on the present. I'm incredibly thankful for everyone watching right now, to anybody watching. Life is beautiful. You know why it's beautiful? I shouldn't have to say it. Damn. Ask yourself why it's beautiful. So many beautiful things about life. Absolutely. There's so much beauty. Imagine if you saw everything as beautiful. It takes a strong person to see the beauty in ugly. If you could always see beauty in everything, you'll be like, you know what I mean? If you can see the beautiful in the ugly, it's easy to see beauty in obvious beauty, but to see the beautiful in the ugly is like a powerful skill. That's an artistic skill. That makes you probably a really powerful artist. It probably makes you a more compassionate lover. Someone you probably are a friend of a lot of people. You probably be someone who'd really do well in a prison. If you work at a prison, you probably work at a prison. You work at a prison, or you work at an elementary school. All these damn kids crying and shit, acting crazy. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to, or in a hospital, in those environments. That's the person who can see beauty in him. Places where there's beauty, kids are probably not, they're different because they're cute. But a prison is like really, it can be an ugly situation. In a hospital, there's probably ugly scenarios. But I'm saying scenarios where you see the full scope of what a human being can be. In those environments, and you're constantly around that, it takes a powerful person to be able to have love and empathy and be able to like put yourself in other people's shoes. Being a therapist, a psychiatrist, emotional intelligence is very powerful, You know what I mean? I think the more we have emotional intelligence, the more we can forgive other people and be patient with people, especially in moments where it really matters the most. The ability to forgive and be patient with people in the moments it matters the most. When your back is against the wall, when there's pressure on you, when you don't want to feel that way. You know what I mean? It's like that's when you really have to push yourself. That's where the test is at. That's where the test is at. You know what I mean? And life is always going to do that to you. It's always going to have you there. But it's like in the moments where you're not in those pressure moments are the moments that matter the most, because that's preparing you for those moments. So you can't slack off. You know what I mean? You got to be thankful for show, and maybe there's nothing really to be thankful for. No. There's always something to be thankful for. You got to be thankful when you still want more, But when you know you've got enough, but you're just in that feeling of wanting more, but you know at the end of the day, your life is actually pretty good, and there's nothing really to worry about, you gotta really be thankful in those days. Because it's like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's hard to do that. When you got nothing, too, for real, that's the hardest times, when you feel so fucking hopeless, and you hate everything, and you feel like you're just behind, and you need things, you want things, opportunities, resources, provisioning. Those are the moments where you gotta be the most grateful. That's where in that moment, it's like you gotta make the conscious decision. And I think in the game of life, when that happens, like a green dot goes beep beep bing, beep beep bing, like ding, like you chose the right decision. You win, you put your energy in that moment, and like you win, and then it begets the next scenario. If it was a game, you press that button, you know. That's what it's got to be. I want to title this "How to Be a Great Player in the Game of Life." How to be an incredible player in the game of life. Life is a game. We're in a simulation. How do you be the best player that you can be possible? I think it's a combination of self-knowledge, knowing yourself, because then you could alter your game to your strengths and weaknesses and use your best characteristics to give yourself your best foot forward, put your best foot forward, but then also understanding the rules to the game of life, to the world. The laws of the universe, the laws of society, the social laws, knowing things and having a strong understanding of that, then you'll know how to bend some of the rules, break some of the rules, be able to get away with certain things. Not in a negative way, but like in like this is a way of being like, that's the best, how the best play. You know what I mean? Be elite, like an elite poker player, card player. Like your ability to play cards is probably like, it has something to say about how you can play the game of life. How to be somebody who always plays their cards right. You know what I mean? And that's a skill. That's how I look at life. I'm like, yo, I want to be like James Bond at life, and professionalism. Just my game, my sharpness, my attitude, my energy, and not being James Bond where I'm like, so like I can't have fun, but like just being that dude, like you're always on, like you know what I mean? You're not just like a civilian. You're sharp. You're awake in the Matrix. Like that's really what I want to do. That's my new inspiration right now is James Bond. Developing a James Bond-esque mentality of professionalism and presence and self-esteem and communication and just like masculinity, like just swag, James Bond swag. And just somebody who has that like sharp social acuity and understanding to know how to play the game of life like an elite poker player. I want to play the game of life like an elite poker player. Like that's how I look at life. That's how sharp I want to be at playing my cards right as a human being. I believe like we're in some sort of simulation, and it's like how you view the world will be able to like dictate how you live your life. Whether you play the game like an NPC or you play the game like somebody who's always constantly getting lucky or finding ways to like make things play out to their favor. I think there's got to be a way, man. There's got to be a way. I think it starts by just thinking about that. Thinking about it and then just going all the way with it. Thinking about it and then going all the way.